Hey friends, this is T again with another reaction video, and today we're going to be doing a story on the N-word girl. Now, she made a TikTok talking about what's going on in the world and relationships and things of that sort. She's kind of graphic, so I had to definitely blot out the certain words that she's saying in this TikTok. But if you don't know who I'm talking about, watch this video. I'm sure it will come to mind.
Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke-ass and they don't care. We don't give a fuck about your money. I couldn't care less about your fucking money. Okay.
All right. Now, a lot of people did videos on this woman because of her language, and specifically because she used the N-word. Now, we all know the N-word is used a lot by black people in music, on the street, what have you. But it's supposed to be forbidden for white people to use it, even when they sing in a song by rap performers who use the word, right? So it's like you just completely banned. So people went out of their way to find her and find her job and got her fired. So now she don't have a job. Most likely a woman that looks like this, as pretty as this, most likely she probably married or has somebody supporting her. She probably got a lot of support, so she felt comfortable enough to go on TikTok and speak her mind. Now everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame, and maybe that's what she wants. She wants to be famous. Who knows, right? But either way, there's a lot of controversy that's surrounding this. So, like I said, I didn't do any videos on this woman because I didn't think it was significant, but I decided to go ahead and do one now because a lot of people have been criticizing her and giving their opinions about the situation, including people on the Daily Wire. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this, okay? Because all of a sudden it became interesting to me. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and get into this. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with new videos, okay? All right, let's get started.
Back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. So guys, there is a big controversy on X this week. Again? Concerning a so-called trad wife, racial slurs, and the woke mob. So a girl on TikTok recently went viral for casually dropping the N-word in one of her videos, and when she was called out on it, she doubled down. And then she was kicked off of TikTok, fired allegedly from her job, and is now making the rounds in some parts of right-wing media. And we have to talk about it because this is absurd, and this is not somebody that we should be idolizing whatsoever.
What about the F word? What about the ASS? What about that kind of vulgar speech? I think is far more problematic here because it's just not the sort of thing we like to do in public. It's just not, if we're talking as she is about the relation between men and women, call me old-fashioned. I don't like to hear ladies speak that way. And I try not to speak that way in front of ladies. I think that's wrong for men to do that too. I think it's wrong for men to do it all the time. I think it's a venial sin. But occasionally at the bar, you know, guys talking, sometimes a loose word comes out. But we try not to do that. We make an extra special effort not to do that in front of women. Why? Because men and women are different. Because of the point that this girl is making and the point that conservatives have been trying to make for 10 years now. That men and women are different. And if we really believe that, don't we need to reflect that in our speech? Speech is what distinguishes us from the lower animals. Speech is the distinction that human beings have. So if we really believe this stuff, if we really believe in a traditional society, and we really believe in a moral order, and we really believe even just in the difference between men and women, and we really believe in conserving something worth conserving, those are the words you got to watch out for.
All right, now you've seen the Daily Wire, Brett Cooper and Matt Walsh talk about this girl, and I do agree with them. I do believe that, you know, if you're trying to be a traditional wife, if you really want to be that, then certain type of behaviors and language should be, you know, considered when you're putting yourself out there. Now, I'm not saying you got to be perfect, and I truly believe a real traditional wife is a Christian woman. Now, you can act traditional, but if you really want the essence of what God meant for a marriage, you must follow his will and his way and trust in him. But some people believe they can do it without God. Now, this girl got a cross on her neck, so I'm assuming she is a Christian. Not every, I mean, but I have seen adult actresses wear crosses on their neck too. And I've seen other people do it for the mere fact they like the way it looks. So that can't tell you everything, the fact that she is a Christian. But either way it goes, if that's what she's trying to represent, then she do need to be careful about the things that come out of her mouth. And like I say, I do agree with them as far as, you know, she need to be careful. If you're trying to present yourself as a traditional woman, then maybe you need to act like one. Maybe your speech needs to portray what is true about you being traditional. Now, her argument is, from the videos that I've seen, is that the Daily Wire and the Republican Party, the conservatives, are being too soft. Now, I remember the movies Untouchable, right, with Kevin Costner and Sean Connery. I know all of you watched it. They feel like, I remember Sean Connery made a speech to Kevin Costner. He was like, you know, he said, when they come at you with a knife, use a gun. When they put your man in the hospital, you put theirs in the morgue. You don't play around with these people because these people are quite dangerous. They will come after everybody. They'll come after you. They come after your family, friends, all that. They'll put you in jail. They'll set you up. They'll do all kind of stuff. I mean, it seemed like the sky's the limit when it comes to the other side. But it seems like conservatives want to always play nice. Now, that'd be one thing if you want to follow Jesus and just trust in the word, and you don't want to use the same tactics that the other side uses. But they don't do that. They still doing a lot of their dirt. But at the same time, they trying to play nice at the same time, trying to look good. If you see a lot of these conservative Congress people and all that kind of stuff, they still got little deals with companies and doing their little dirt, getting rich. But then they don't want to play the same ball as the other side do. So you know what I mean by the other side, right? But either way, I think that's the point she's making. She's like, why y'all messing around? Just go ahead and let's, you know, things seem to be tipping our way. Take advantage of it. Now, how she going about it, that's a different story, okay? It's like you're supposed to be representing something better for everybody, a future that's better for everybody. Now, if you are a believer and you're a Christian, we all know that everything going to pretty much go downhill. If you ever read Revelations, it's going to get bad. It's going to get a lot worse than what it is, right? But it doesn't change the fact that we're still supposed to represent God. Now, if she is a Christian, which I don't know for sure, but if she is a Christian, she's supposed to represent him. Now, she can make mistakes. She's angry probably about the situation. She lost her job. She mad. So now she feel like going after the people that probably she felt like should have protected her. You know, the other side defend each other, no matter how deep and dirty they get. But it seemed like people like, for example, the Daily Wire haven't defended her. If anything, she probably rather them didn't say anything, but they decided to go ahead and say something and make replies. And a lot of people are angry with the Daily Wire because of the stances that they take and the fact that they really aren't changing anybody's lives, you know. And you can hear from Candace Owens and maybe a few other people that have issues with the Daily Wire. They say a lot, but they do very little. Well, that's people's opinion, okay? So I think that's the way, and she's the one that wants to go out there and pretty much set the Daily Wire straight because they commenting about how she's acting. You know, it would have been one thing if they didn't say anything, and maybe she wouldn't have said something. But now that they have commented about it, now she got a lot to say about it. I came across Officer Tatum's video that he wants to give his opinion about the situation, about what he thinks. And just to give you an example, I just want you to watch this for a moment, please.
So it should be no surprise to you that my Twitter or my TikTok post about the nerds and the dorks in high school, that's the one that blew up, and that's the one that triggered so many people. That's why everybody on who's very like conservative or whatever hates my guts so much, because you're one of those fuckers. You are one of those pathetic, lame fucks, and you're offended. You don't like it. Hey, guess what, you fucking losers? Guess what? America is sick of this bullshit. We gotta start fighting fire with fire. All your nice little essays, all your nice Daily Wire and milquetoast approach to politics has not helped us for shit. Obviously. That's why we're being controlled by this tiny minority of freaks. That's why we're being controlled by these people. I just watched the show with Brett Cooper, basically shitting all over me. And you know why? She literally admitted it in the video. She was like, I'm a theater kid. That's why they don't fucking like me. They don't fucking like me because I'm right about you. Because you are one of those theater nerds, and just because you're like conservative now doesn't mean jack shit. You don't like, you have a grudge, you have a chip on your shoulder, and it shows. And it shows. I'm doing more for free speech than any of these Daily Wire pussies. These Daily Wire pussies say the most milquetoast conservative things. They don't get canceled for it because it's nothing controversial. They always play it safe, and then they can people like Candace Owens when they step barely out of line. Oh, because we can't do that. These kind of people are such hypocrites. These kind of people are so fake. They're the fake people that I've been screaming about. They're the fake people who act like they're fighting for our freedoms, and meanwhile, it's all just a business. It's all just about money. And they will not cross over a line. They're not actually out here fighting for you because they don't care. They're too busy trying to keep up this perfect little image and keep up this uncancelable act that they've got going. And they've got it perfected. They make so much money over there because they never step out of line. So good on you, Candace Owens. Good on you for getting fired, because that showed that you actually have some backbone and you actually care about this country. This is why people are coming for me, because I say it how it is. And I talk like how the people talk because I'm one of the people. I'm not trying to make money off this. I made no money off this, by the way. But I actually do care about free speech in this fucking country. And I've done more for free speech than any of those fucking over at the Daily Wire have ever done in their entire career.
All right. Very, very interesting girl. Now, she obviously heated, okay? Especially when she feel like now the right is attacking her for doing what she's doing. Instead of concentrating on what she was saying, they concentrate more on how she said it. And you see that in a lot of arguments that happen, like debates, like with Andrew Wilson, for example. People try to attack the way he say things instead of what he's saying. And he is, I don't know if he's a Catholic, but I know he's a Christian, but I don't know if he's Catholic or just something that's Protestant. I'm not exactly sure. But people always made that argument because he do have a mouth on him too as well. And they don't like him drinking and smoking while he's doing his debates. But he seemed like he don't care either way. But instead of just focusing on what he's saying, they focus more on how he says it. And instead of them concentrating on what she said with these videos, it seemed like they focus more on how she said it, how she presents herself. And I think that's what the real issue is. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, we're supposed to present ourselves in a certain way as Christians, but it doesn't mean that we can't have righteous anger. Maybe she's just used to cursing. Maybe the people around her, they do it. That's just the way she expresses herself, especially when she's angry. But it doesn't change the fact maybe what she's saying might be true. Now, I don't want to crap all over the Daily Wire. I'm sure they did some good for some people or whatever the situation is. But it's back to that thing, they bring a knife, you bring a gun. They put your person in the hospital, you put theirs in the morgue. And what he mean by that is, look, man, they coming for us. Instead of sitting around being nice and stuff like that, it's time to go out there and have some righteous anger and truth. To put it out there, people use the example of Jesus turning over that table, all those people just trying to sell doves and all that kind of stuff near the church, synagogue. So it's like, he was angry about that. He didn't do that in a nice way. He was angry. He didn't curse or anything like that, but many people probably took it the wrong way. I'm sure a lot of the Pharisees or whatever took it the wrong way. But she wants them to get angry. She wants them to start taking risks. They sitting there coming for this girl. And she's hoping that the conservatives, including Daily Wire, would come in and at the least agree with what she's trying to say. But it seems like they're kind of turning themselves away from her, trying to, talk about the fact she ain't a trad wife and her language and all these kind of things. Like I said, I didn't watch all these videos, but I'm getting the essence of what she's trying to put out there. Now, like I say, many people may agree, many people may not. Right now, I want to go ahead and hear Officer Tatum's opinion about what he thinks about this particular situation.
Look, let me just address this real quick. I think that I agree with some of what she said, and I disagree with some of what she said, because there's nuance. When you grow in the movement and you're mature in business, you understand these things. For instance, do I say everything I feel on YouTube? No, because I get banned. It's not because I'm afraid. It's not because I want milquetoast stuff. It's because I have to balance. Do I reach 1 billion people, or do I reach nobody saying whatever I want to say, right? I mean, just let's keep it real. I've reached over 1 billion people on YouTube. And you know, there's ways that I say stuff without saying stuff or whatever the case may be. But do you reach 1 billion people and have shareable content, or do you reach 45 people a week just trashing everything you say? So there's a balance there. You can't be so milquetoast that you're afraid to push the envelope, but you have to make sure when you're on somebody's private platform that you are not going to get yourself kicked off and reach nobody. You have to make money to make an impact, period. I don't care what nobody say. You have to make money to make an impact. When I say an impact, how do you think you reach all these people? How do you think I put all the content out that I put out? I have to make enough money to hire a staff and have equipment and a facility and all this other stuff. How do I make an impact? We have over 100,000 customers on our e-commerce store. How do we get that? Because I have to hire a team of people. We have to hire a building where we do distribution. We have to have a customer service team. You know, you have to be able to make money to make an impact in a broader way. There's nobody that's making a tremendous impact that's broke.
All right. Now, I agree with some of what he's saying, but not completely. Now, his argument is you got to make money, you got to walk a fine line and all these things in order to get the message out. That's not true. That's not true. I'm sorry, Officer Tatum. I like you. I know you're a Christian and all that kind of stuff, but you should know better. Jesus Christ didn't have needed none of that stuff, and he still got the message out. Of course, there's certain things that he done that nobody else can do. But either way it goes, he expected his followers to go out there and preach the gospel. He didn't say do all these things, get a network, get a bunch of employees and all this other stuff. He never mentioned anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You can. The whole point of being a Christian is to put that out there. Now, if you're talking about just politics and things of that sort, maybe. Because these days, people don't like to listen to anybody without money or power or clout. They tend to want to follow people with these things. Definitely. So I do agree. Like I said, that's the part I do agree with. But if you're just trying to save lives or whatever, and you're just trying to get the truth out there, you don't need all that. You know, you can use your feet, go out there and give out flyers. You can talk to people and things of that sort. And after a while, you'll grow. Now, the reason why I think this girl is crass, if she wants to start doing political stuff, and I'm getting the impression that she wants to start doing political things, you know, get involved. I think she's going the Tommy Lauren route. Because if you remember Tommy Lauren, I don't think she used a lot of foul language, but she was very crass at the beginning. She said what was on her mind. She got a lot of people's attention. She pissed off Democrats, all this stuff, man. I mean, everybody was coming after her, right? And she acted like she didn't care. But if you look at her now, she's more tame, she's more controlled now. She got her own show now. She talk about all these subjects that's going on in the world. But she's more controlled now. She's more polished, if you want to use that word. And I think this girl believed that if she do the same thing that Tommy Lauren did in the past, maybe she'll get that attention as well. Maybe because she's calling out the Daily Wire, they're going to invite her on their show. And they would be smart to do so. Especially, it would be better if it was... Okay, I said Matt Walsh the first time. I forgot the other dude's name, the one that I showed you a video on. But for some reason, I said Matt Walsh at the beginning. I was mistaken on that. But one of them can interview her, right? I don't know if it'd be Brett Cooper. I don't know if she do interviews. But one of the other guys can do an interview with her and try to find out what she's talking about. I mean, they have like adult stars on their freaking show, okay? And they interview them. Why not interview this girl, all right? And she probably didn't want that job anyway. She probably understands that social media is the ticket these days, man. Doing a 9 to 5 is just not going to get you far. You know, maybe you could pay bills with that, but somehow I don't think this was a great loss for her. I think she wants to be famous. I think she wants to be popular. I think she wants to be out there. Now, whether it's for righteous reasons or not, I have no clue. But obviously, she wants to be known. And calling out the Daily Wire might have been the smart thing because now Daily Wire, they might have got Daily Wire's attention, and this is a great opportunity for a debate. so she can bring them on there. Now she can explain herself. And then shortly after, they can talk to her, maybe help her polish her message a little better, and she can put it out there. I don't think she should lose her righteous anger. I think she should keep that, but just doing it in a defective way. That's what Officer Tatum is probably trying to say. But like I say, I think he was defending the fact that she's saying that, what she said about Daily Wire kind of like, talking about him as well. She just didn't happen to mention his name. So you know how you would like get offended by somebody saying something in particular, somehow the shoe fits kind of a situation. So I think he felt like the shoe fits. Almost she was calling him out, but not really calling his name. So he's trying to make some kind of, I hate to use the word excuse, but he's trying to make some kind of excuse, saying, well, yeah, I need all this and I got to watch my step and all these other things and stuff like that. Yeah, you can get canceled. You can get destroyed by the other side. But when you enter this arena with in politics and you trying to go against the other side, man, that's dangerous. You got to understand that. And now if you're just trying to get rich and all that kind of stuff by getting into politics, then that's pretty safe for you because you're going to be brought out and all the other things. So it's pretty safe for you when it comes down to politics. But if you decide to go against the grain, that's dangerous. You can lose a lot. They can destroy your life. They can remove your YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. And I understand when it comes down to business, you got to be very careful. Daily Wire, Officer Tatum, other people. But if you're really, really saying that you are compassionate about putting something out there and that was your goal and you felt like God is the one that called you to do this, sacrifices have to be made, even to the point of your life. God said, if you're willing to lose your life, you'll save it. When it comes down to YouTube, I generally don't mess with politics because I understand what it takes to do what you need to do. I don't know enough about politics in order to represent it right. I might be saying wrong things. I don't know. So I don't delve in that kind of thing, right? But when it comes down to my faith, if anybody asks me about my faith, and I'll go by the knowledge God given me, I will speak the truth about it, regardless. That's important to me, okay? And that's important to my personal life. I didn't fashion my channel based on that. It's based generally on entertainment and things that's really popular in pop culture and junk like that. Politics, like I say, I don't tend to want to deal with that because I wish I had Ben Shapiro type knowledge, but I don't. I understand what affects me. I understand what I want. I mean, that's the basis of it. It's certain little things, and I do watch politics, and certain things I do understand. But to make a real argument with somebody that really knows politics, I'm not that person. Okay, if I was, maybe then I'll do it, but I don't. And I'm more interested in entertainment anyway, and I make my mark that way. So y'all know the deal. Certain things Disney putting out is crap, so I make my mark that way. But either way it goes, I understand where Tatum is coming from, man. But in the end, the truth is, do we need more people like this young lady? That's the question. Now, yeah, you might not like the way she's approaching it. She's using bad language and all this kind of stuff. She's aggressive and stuff like that. But you have to admire her grit. You have to. She's taking a risk. She already lost her job, and now she's trying to move forward. She probably felt like she can't go back now, and now she got to continue to go for it. And she's going for it with a vengeance right now. Is her criticism about the Daily Wire justified? I don't think they're completely useless. I think they put out some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I think she's right about them not taking that kind of risk. It's always a business decision. And like I say, man, if you want to be a patriot, if you really want to go after the other side and, being careful, be damned type situation, then you'll sacrifice whatever you need to put out that message. And I don't think a lot of these people are trying to go that far. They're not. And I'm not gonna hold them responsible or blame them for anything or whatever. They're gonna go as far as they want to go. They got businesses, they got people they need to pay, just like Officer Tatum said. And I'm not gonna try to put that weight on their shoulders. It's not my job to do so. You know what I mean? But I think she might be right in this aspect. You going against wolves, and you got a butter knife. This is just not going to work. It's just not. Being polite, being, snobby and all this other stuff is good to watch. It's entertainment. And you can sit back and say, yes, I agree, I agree, I agree. But if you really want to make a dent, you really have to be aggressive. You really have to be strong in your message. You really got to get to the point where you're willing to sacrifice certain things to get that message out. There's people out there that do that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Candace Owens, she lost her job. And she's still at risk about what she's doing. Whether you agree with her or not, she's still taking risks right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where they got the problem. I think Candace Owens, I think this young lady and a few other people, that's why they have a problem with the Daily Wire. They are not making any type of sacrifices. Everybody either getting threatened with jail, or their job getting lost, or their money, or whatever. But the Daily Wire is just coasting through. They're not digging deep enough to be doing any serious damage. They're getting a certain type of message out, but it's not really pissing off the other side enough to go after them like that, if you haven't noticed that. And I think that's the point she's trying to make. And I think she's going to keep ringing that bell until they decide to have her on to try to explain themselves, okay, at the least, all right, which is interesting. But if I have to say something about the fact that she was using the N-word and all that kind of stuff, it don't bother me. I don't really care. You know, I'm at a point now, man, you know, it's like, you know, remember back in the day, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I could care less. As long as you interfere with me making money, you don't interfere with my life or hurt anybody that I love, I don't care. You can say what you want, you can feel the way you want, you can think the way you want. I can care less. I grew out of that. Maybe when I was a teenager and I believed in all that kind of stuff and got all heated and angry, yeah, maybe. But now, I can care less. I don't care if this girl used that word. And I can tell the context of why she used it. And I can care less. When I hear a white person singing a song, a rap song, and they had the N-word on it, I can care less. The way she used it, I can care less. I really don't care. It's not going to change the course of my life. It's not. People just want to be angry these days about something. And eventually, at some point, us black people need to really get away from that. At some point, man. We need just to move forward and start being successful and to live our lives the way we should live our lives. Okay? This woman, like I say, man, I give her kudos for the mere fact of the matter that she's taking risk. And she is taking a lot of risk. I don't know, maybe she might get successful from it. Who knows, right? Tommy Lauren did. All right? But that's my opinion. That's all I got to say about it, okay? This is strictly entertainment to me. I don't care about the political parts of it. But this is strictly entertainment. And hopefully we're going to hear more about this girl, okay? Maybe I might do another video. Who knows? All right? Okay, I really appreciate all of you coming by. Thanks again. This is T, and peace.